The following is a live presentation of Strathroy Rockets hockey. Aspro's in alone. Daniel Aspro, breakaway, scores! That's to the net here, still has it. Over to the side, center, scores!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside the Komoka Wellness Center for tonight's Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League action between the visiting Strathroy Rockets and the hometown Komoka Kings. Sunday afternoon hockey here in Komoka. I'm Noah Smith. Eldon Dunseith with me today. And Eldon, we get to see a matchup, a game that happened just last week.
Yes. Went to a shootout last week, and the Kings took home the 2 points. And it'll be a matchup today of the two most penalized teams in the Western Conference. And an important 2 points early in the season, as a win here today by the Rockets would put them in a tie for fifth, moving them up a couple of spots in the standings.
So the Rockets will look to build off of a big win last night on home ice against the St. Thomas Stars. Their first win on home ice of the season, and their first win since game number 2 of the season when they won in a shootout in LaSalle. Big thing to turn the season around a little bit early on. Get back into playing good hockey, pick up 2 points where you needed it, and get back out onto the ice today and see if you can salvage really a good weekend and all. A win today gives you 5 and 6 over the weekend.
Exactly. We spoke about this at the beginning of the game on Thursday night in Sarnia, that if they could come away with 4 or even 5 points out of this 3-game weekend, that would be considered successful. It didn't feel that way when they, coughed up the point on Thursday night, but a big 2 points last night. It was a tight game last Sunday. They could conceivably come out of here with 5 points out of 6 over the last 4 days.
And if you look back to their Sunday game in Komoka where they lost in a shootout, really the Rockets are playing hockey where they're getting points in every game, and we'll see if they can do that here again tonight.
It's important. Even picking up, if you don't happen to win the game, but you get it to extra time, those points add up at the end of the season, for sure.
So a couple of scratches to get to tonight for the Strathroy Rockets here as we get ready for the national anthems in Komoka. Jacob Cucci, Matt Sturgeon, Nigel Piercy, Mark Hewitt. Jacob Habib is out with a suspension for today's game, and then Jonathan Kilby also scratched. There'll be 2 new faces in the lineup for Strathroy today, wearing the number 20 uniform, Jet Luchenko, and wearing the number 25 uniform, it's Noah Kostetsku. So we'll see them onto the ice for the first time tonight here. Matt Brazeau will get the start in goal for Strathroy for the second straight game, as they're going to try to ride the hot hand, get the guy that got them the win last night, see if they can do it again here on a Sunday.
Goaltending at any level, ride the hot hand, absolutely. And you got your first win in 6 last night. Afternoon game the next day, not far to travel, no reason to not play him again.
So Brazeau in goal. It'll be Page in net for the Komoka Kings tonight. He's been a guy that's been good for them so far this season, and we'll see if he can help them to another victory here on home ice. The Kings playing back-to-back days with home games. You don't see that very often here in the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League, but the Kings play their normal Saturday night games and then here against Strathroy on a Sunday, and they'll try to come out with 2 wins on home ice in 2 days.
Yeah, it is odd to see play 2 home games on back-to-back days. That's rare. Usually you'll take off somewhere else on the second day. But yeah, and looking forward to a competitive game here, good game. Both teams could use the 2 points.
The scratches in the lineup for the Komoka Kings tonight, just a couple for you, as out of the lineup today, Nolan Burnside and Ethan Matthews, number 15 and number 24 on the lineup card. The starting goaltender, as mentioned, Omar Hage in net for the Kings. We'll get to the starters after the national anthems because it will be a familiar lineup starting the game for Strathroy. Up front, Pimentel, Riley Wood, and Carson Perry, the line that was oh so good for them last night. Riley Wood had 2 power play goals. Carson Perry picked up a goal as well late in the game. That line really helped carry them, although a lot of it on the special teams through that game last night and to the victory.
Some players that we expected when the season started, who we figured would carry the mail offensively for this team, broke out last night.
And we'll see if they'll do so again tonight. On defense, it's Ryan Marshall and Ty Johnson for Strathroy. On the Komoka side of things, Chris Crocker is up front, and he's going to be joined by Jackson McElwain and Alex McLeod. Will Lewis is up front with him. Darius Manny on defense for the Kings tonight. We'll now take it down to ice level here for national anthems from Komoka. So the anthem's complete and just about ready for puck drop here in Komoka. Strathroy Rockets, Komoka Kings on a Sunday afternoon from the Wellness Center. Good afternoon. I'm Noah Smith. Eldon Dunseith back on the call with me today. And the Rockets looking to win their second straight game for the first time this season.
Call it a streak, yes, if they can put the second one together here.
Rockets, of course, coming off a win last night at home against the St. Thomas Stars. Rockets getting goals from Tage Gallant, 2 from Riley Wood on the power play, and Carson Perry picking up the 4th tally for Strathroy. It'll be Perry in to take the draw to start things here. He's got Riley Wood on his right side, Matthew Pimentel on his left, and the face-off won by the Rockets as we're underway here in Komoka. Down the ice, but right on goal, so no icing. And it's going to be covered up by Omar Hage. So the Rockets will get an offensive zone face-off here to start this game.
Fast and furious, first 8 seconds. Face-off will be to the left of Hage.
Rockets switching up their D pairing. A nice quick 8-second shift to start the game there for the starters. Face-off won back by the Kings, now inside their own zone. Trying to clear, almost turned over as Perry stopped that one. Now back to Hall at center. He's going to dump it in. That pass off a stick, picked up by Carson Perry on the right side. Perry a shot, that one stopped by Hage. Rebound bounces out. It's going to be cleared to the blue line and picked up here as the Kings work forward on the left side. Looking for a pass. That one's going to go off a stick. Trying to find McLeod. It'll go into the corner. Now McLeod tried to pick it up. Carson Perry with speed comes past his own blue line to center. Hands it off to Riley Wood. Wood picks it up, tries to make a move to go down low. And now Perry taking into the boards. Big hit there to separate him from the puck. The Kings will get it out past center, to center, and dump it in. Just shy of a minute gone here to start this hockey game. Rockets with the first shot on goal here as they work it out from their own zone. Hogarth at his own blue line gets to center. Hogarth tried to make a move to get past the defender, lost that one. Trying to keep it in at the blue line. Marshall lost it again. Turnover here, and here comes Blue Kings. A shot on goal, they score. McElwain finds the back of the net early here, and the Kings strike first. It's 1-0.
Their leading scorer and leading goal scorer, Carter McElwain, with his 7th of the season. The 2-on-1 couldn't stop the pass across, and a really good shot low on Brazeau. Minute 15 in, and Komoka's got an early lead.
So the Kings tally first on their first shot of the game. It's Carter McElwain, and it's a 1-0 lead. Rockets trying to clear up to center here. They will. Picking it up here. Noah Nelson. Nelson in across the blue line looking for a shot. That one kicked aside by Hage. Back behind the net. Big hit by Ballas to try and separate the puck. He dies, but the Kings work it out to center, and now trying to cut through the middle there was Cowan. He had that one lost, and a pass out of the reach of Ballas. No icing charges against the Rockets. Back down low. Kings working from their own zone. Almost turned it over there. Now it's going to be picked up. Ballas hands it off down low. Nelson had that one find its way off his stick. Now they get it back into the corner, up to the point. Hands it off to Kindry. Kindry just tries to shovel it towards the net. Didn't get a whole lot on it. And it'll result in a turnover. Now he picks it up again. Now Nelson steps in across the offensive blue line. Leaves it for Kindry. A shot. That one goes wide of the goal. Ballas up to the point. Looking for a shot towards the net there. Couldn't hold on to it. Now Kindry, another chance. Kindry to the net. That one was redirected. Kings looking to try and clear. Work their way out from their own bench. Now coming into the offensive zone. Nice move through the legs. Pass out front. That one stopped by Brazeau. Trying to chip that out and get it through was Nelson. It's going to be cleared back out to center. Now here comes the Kings. Just trying to get past his man. He does. That's Luchenko for the Rockets. Now Luchenko has it. Trying to leave that one forward. Turned over. Johnston almost picked it up. Kings back in their own zone. Long pass. Chipped up right in front of the Rockets bench. Now they'll enter the zone. Wide on the left side. Tries to find a pass to the slot. Intercepted. Still holding on to it. Back behind the net. Comes up to the point. On to the forehand. Looking for options. Hands it off down low. Yearwood looking as it goes to Goff. Now Yearwood. Looking for a pass. Faulkner rubs it out in the boards. Now Hall. Up to Luchenko again. Hands it off. And now the Rockets will dump it in and go for a line change here. 3.5 minutes gone to start this hockey game. Still a 1-0 Komoka lead on the goal by Carter McElwain. Now out past their own bench. This one picked up. Pimentel stops up just inside the line and will dump it down low. It's picked up by the Kings, now trying to clear. Rimmed around the boards. This one stopped and picked up down low by Ty Johnson, and now it's going to be blown down on the hand pass.
Yep, face-off will come outside, I believe. That was against Strathroy. No. Yes, it was. Ty Johnson having a conversation with the official.
So the face-off just out front of the Kings bench in the neutral zone. One back by the Rockets and sent over to the opposite side, but now it's going to be picked up as the Kings work into the offensive zone. Shot ripped on goal by Holmes, but a glove down by Brazeau as he makes the save. 16:01 to go here in the first.
Good view there, easy save. Face off to Brazeau's left. As Kindry and Cole Smith come onto the ice for the D pair for the Rockets.
One back, Zuckerman hands this one off to the point, but out of the reach of Tidgewell. The Kings have to dump it back in as Brazeau's out of the net to play it here for Strathroy. Kindry's pass up to center, picked up by Perry. Perry tried to lock it over to Pimentel, but the Kings will intercept this one and dump it in. Now Perry at center, takes a hit there from Holmes, carrying it in. Looking for a pass option, has it back behind the net, now comes out front, nobody there to pick it up for the Kings, and the Rockets will work back quickly the other way. Riley Wood into the offensive zone, goes off into the corner for Kindry. Now back to Wood. Still holding on to it behind the net, chance out front, and they score! A nice passing play. Kindry finds his man out front, and Matthew Pimentel has tied the game at 1.
What a pass. Just a little, that couldn't have been more than about a 3-foot pass just out front one time by Pimentel. Took no time at all, put it right past Hage, and there was no real response. Hage didn't move, the players didn't move. It's tough to tell from our vantage point whether or not that went in.
Wasn't a huge celebration.
No, not at all.
Matthew
it was
Pimentel.
Very delayed, but a goal nonetheless. 1-1. 4:37 into the first period here at the Komoka Wellness Center.
Combined 5 shots on goal for the clubs and 2 pucks have already found the back of the net. It's a 1-1 game. Now the Kings from their own zone looking for a pass. This one will go off the stick. Now trying to chop it in and carry it on. That was just Jackson McElwain as now Ballack has it back in front of the Kings bench. Pass off the boards, picked up here. Kings circling back at their own blue line. Now coming up off the stick of Kane Johnson. Johnson tried to chip that forward to Hogarth. Now D2D Kindry just knocks it back to the Kings zone. Now at center. McLeod hands that one off, dumped in. Brazeau out of the net to play it here for Strathroy, and he gets it around to the boards up to Spezial. Spezial with Hogarth chasing. Hogarth tried to chip that one past. Plays his man, and now the Kings working into the offensive zone. Lewis tries to cut to the net here. Rebound chance. That one stopped by Brazeau. Puck bouncing around there. It's picked up by Hogarth. Brazeau having to make a nice save here as the Rockets will just clear it out to center.
Made a nice save. Unfortunately for him, the rebound went right to the charging winger.
Kindry now D over to Hall. Hall up to Ballas, and now Ballas will carry it forward into the offensive zone. Had this one poked off his stick. Picks it up again here, but the Rockets were offside as they had to clear as Nelson got back outside the zone. Now a quick pass up onto the captain, Carter McElwain. His pass to the slot was intercepted and picked up here as the Rockets move forward. Kostetsku leaves it, shot that one on goal, and Hage has to make a nice save up high.
Yeah, kind of up high on the blocker side, but he was able to cradle it, preventing a rebound. Face-off will be to his left with 13:47 to go in the first period.
Marshall and Ty Johnson onto the ice here for the Rockets as the defense pairing. They switch it up on the offensive zone face-off, but it's won back by the Kings. Now from back behind their own net, just trying to get this one up to the blue line. They will. Intercepted by the Rockets slightly, and now it gets past Ty Johnson and down the ice. Marshall back into the corner. Around the boards, picked up by Paige Gowan. Had his first goal of the season last night. Back to Marshall. Marshall now out front of the Strathroy bench. Bodies all over him, picks it up here, now coming forward. Gallant into the corner. Takes a hit, picked up by Ballas behind the net. Ballas spins, gets away from danger, picked up, comes up to the point for Marshall. Marshall shot to the net. That one well wide, was just looking through traffic to see if he could find the tip on goal. Now the Kings up through center. In across on the right side, Yearwood. Yearwood tried to make a move to get past Marshall, but turned it over as Nelson lost an edge. Hands it over to Ty Johnson. Johnson tried to clear, couldn't, and now another Rocket losing an edge is coming through. Now Johnson into their corner for Goff. Goff back behind the Strathroy net. On his forehand, passes up to the point. Just throwing it into the boards there, and now back behind the Strathroy net. Trying to find it there. Marshall getting it away from Yearwood. Now Marshall with it. Marshall, he takes a hit into the wall. Pass comes out front here. The Rockets look to clear. Dundas battling there, turned over. Johnson to the net. That one stopped. Redirected back behind the net. Nice play to play the body by Nelson. Goff down low. Two Kings in the corner here. Trying to get the puck out. Now a hit by Yearwood, and this is going to draw a penalty. A cross check coming, and the Rockets will head to the power play.
Similar situation to some of the hits we saw in Sarnia on Thursday night. The level of force wasn't necessarily the issue. The position of the receiver of that cross-check was the issue. He was within a foot and a half of the boards. Again, dangerous area. He went in head first. Thankfully, the hit wasn't very hard, and he's fine. But either way, the Rockets will go to the power play with exactly 12 minutes remaining in the first period.
And a power play that has been much better of late. 2 goals on Thursday in Sarnia, 2 goals last night against St. Thomas. And Perry down low here for the Rockets, trying to set something up here. Picked up by Riley Wood. Wood back behind the net, passes off the boards up to Kindry at the point. Kindry now down low. Smith, he had 2 goals on Thursday in Sarnia. Over to Perry. Perry leaves it. Kindry. Smith again on the left side. Into the slot. Good chance backhander by Ballas over top of the net. Perry to pick it up here and try to set things up again to Kindry. Back to Carson Perry. A chance to walk in. Perry, a shot. That one over top of the goal and looked like it hit off his stick and out of play.
Yeah, Cole Smith had 2 goals in the first half of the first period in Sarnia on Thursday night, chasing the hat trick the rest of the way.
Tough to get as a defenseman.
Yeah.
You get the first 2 and you're probably just happy with that. Now one-time chance, that one pad saved by Hage and sent down the ice by the Kings. So the Rockets will have to come back in their own zone to set up with 1:11 left here on the power play. 11 minutes to go here in the opening frame as the pass gets up to center. Wood trying to chip it up to Perry. Perry lost it, tries to give it back to Wood. It's Riley Wood in the corner here looking to try and set up on the power play. To Perry. Perry back down low to Wood. Back and forth they go. It's going to be Perry switching spots into the corner. The pass out is going to find no one and come all the way back out into the neutral zone and now back into the Strathroy end of the ice onto the stick of Owen Kindry. Kindry spins, gets ready to come back up ice with 34 seconds to go here on the man advantage. Perry through the middle. Now Perry wide on the right side into the corner. Looking for a pass out front. Comes up to Kindry off a stick. Now Johnson. Johnson tries again, gets it back on his backhand. Still holding on to it. Back down low. Gets away from Riley Wood. Cleared up to the blue line, but not out. Johnson's pass intercepted and cleared. And with 8 seconds to go, that will just about do it for the man advantage.
Did such a great job keeping that puck in at the blue line, and then his pass only went about 4 feet before it was picked off by Adam Zuckerman and iced.
Johnson now to the net. This one off to the stick and thrown around as it comes up to Marshall. Marshall keeps it in with his skates, now back down low. Another pass that's going to be intercepted by the Kings, sent up to center where it's knocked down by Ty Johnson, who fanned on it. Now the Kings will get it back, working into the offensive zone. Pass, that one gets away. Just flipped it up, and now it's going to be picked up. Moving forward here, coming Ty Johnson. Johnson, a shot. That one well over top of the net. Takes a hop back out front, and another chance. That one wide of the goal, and then the sliding Hage. Back to center for Marshall. Past the halfway mark here of the period. 9:20 to go. Still tied at 1. Kings trying to enter the zone here. Cowan lost that one. Picked up by Nelson. Nelson's pass. That one's knocked out of the air. A lot of passes so far, not finding their intended recipients, as the Kings will send one down the ice off a stick and into the netting, out of play.
Yeah, that's off a Komoka stick, so the faceoff's going to come back. And because it was such a long pass, it'll come all the way back just outside the blue line in front of the Komoka zone. Or in front of the Komoka bench, I'm sorry.
Face off, one off to the side, and Kindry will pick it up, circle back inside Strathroy territory. Smith from out front of the Rockets bench. That pass intercepted. Carrying it in, but Cowan lost it on the first try and then was offside on the second.
Yeah, Easton Cowan losing the puck just outside the blue line, but didn't stop. You're allowed to carry the puck into the zone backwards if you have control. He did not.
Tied up off the draw. Lukings couldn't hold on to it as Spezia will hand it over to Kindry. Now Kindry up through center. His pass goes off a stick. That time, Carter McElway. Faulkner couldn't get that one passed. Up to center here, off the boards. Big hit thrown by Tidgewell as he sets his man down to the ice. And now Faulkner will work it forward on the left side. He gets taken into the boards. Kings back the other way through center. In on the left side. Now trying to cut to the net. Still holding on to it. Back behind the net. Up to the point. Capped in at the blue line by Johnston. Now McElway. Nice move by McElway. Shot to the net. That one was redirected and wide. Up to Spezia, and Spezia will just flip it up into the neutral zone to clear for Strathroy. Kings will dump it back into the corner and give chase. Back behind the net here, Smith. Trying to take down McElway, and Johnson will pick it up on his forehand. Johnson tried to cut to the middle there, picked off by Riley Wood. Wood, pass to the middle, Carson Perry. Rockets stay onside. Perry, nice move to work through. Perry passed to the other side, and Wood stopped by Hage. What a stop to come across by Omar Hage.
Great move by Carson Perry coming down. He gave the old housey going to the defenseman on his way down the left wing. Very crisp pass across the front and a one-time chance. But as you said, Hage coming right to left to make an outstanding save to keep this game tied at 1.
Face off to the left of Hage inside the Kings zone here. 7.5 minutes to go in the period, and it's one into the corner. Pimentel now trying to chase it down to the opposite side. He's got Perry with him. Kings work out through center. Now coming across the logo, working on the right side. Cutting to the net here. Good chance, and that one by Yearwood was snuffed by Brazeau. Yearwood again, still holding on to it. Tried to pass down low to Goff, got away from him. Now picked up and almost to center for Riley Wood, but had that pass knocked away. Sent down the ice, and an icing coming here to the Kings. They tried a quick pass through the neutral zone. And the face-off will come all the way back down into Kings territory.
Yeah.
6:59 on the clock.
Yeah, Manny, that was a hard pass and just happened to split the difference a few feet from two different players. And now there's a face-off to the left of Hage.
Hogarth in to take it here for Strathroy. It's one off into the corner. Faulkner tried to get it, but it was knocked away from him. Now the Kings up through center. Carrying it on the right side, looking for a shot. That one blocked away. Brazeau able to get the blocker and the stick on that one. The shot from Goffin. Now the Kings, who entered the zone, will have to enter again. Johnson still offside, though, here, and now he'll go for a line change. It's Hogarth from his own zone, getting it up to center. That one dumped in off a stick, and will take a bounce on Omar Hage, who will think about playing it and cover up for the whistle.
Yeah, that just meant to be a dump in down into the left corner, and it deflected off a Komoka Kings defenseman's stick. And that bouncing puck into the net, you never quite know where that's going to go, and Hage did a nice job to cover that up.
Offensive zone face-off here for Strathroy. Now down low, picked up Faulkner with it. He's back behind the net, still holding on to it here. Knocked off his stick. Hands it off to Kane Johnson below the goal line. Johnson just cycling it. Couldn't hold on to it here. From the hash marks. Long pass up onto the stick there and off the stick into the Rocket zone. Chasing that one down. Zuckerman picks it up and had it knocked off his stick. Now Holmes just going to spin, fire, fanned on it. And a broken stick, it looks like, as he heads back to the bench, and the Rockets come up ice. Hogarth with it. Hogarth just dumps it in. Kings quickly pass their own bench to center and dumping it off the broken stick there. Now the Rockets in the midst of a line change. Kings through center. Coulter. Now Ballas. Ballas into the corner, looking for an option here. Stops up. Up to the hash marks, flipped up to the blue line, but not out. Now Kindry will pick it up. Kindry circles back in his own zone. Over to Cole Smith. Smith up to Ballas. Ballas, nice chip pass to Nelson. Nelson hands it up to Gallen, and the Rockets work into the offensive zone. Nelson back down low. Glove down by the Kings defender, and the pass comes up to center, but Cole Smith was back to pick it up for Strathroy. A lot of back and forth chances here. 7-5 the shots for Strathroy. As now Galt works in. His shot fanned on it. Pass comes the other way, and it's going to be intercepted. Working forward on the left side. Into the offensive zone. Lewis had that one knocked off his stick. Now McLeod hands it back. Yeah. Losing a stick there. Ballas, and a penalty coming here. And I believe it'll be a slash on Lewis.
Yeah, Will Lewis is getting the penalty for slashing. I'm not sure when it happened, but at some point in the last 5 to 10 years, it became an automatic penalty. If you make downward contact on the opponent's stick and he loses control and it ends up on the ice, it's an automatic slashing penalty. It happens in the NHL and the OHL. I think sometimes the players should just hold on to their sticks a little better, but I digress. That was definitely not the case in this case. Definitely a penalty, as frustrated as Lewis was with the call.
So the Rockets back to the power play here. Up to the point for Ty Johnson as he hands it off down low. Ball is spinning. His pass comes over to Perry on the opposite side. Perry up to the point. Marshall. Rockets another power play chance. Here's the shot thrown on goal. Wood comes back out front. Nobody there as it was knocked away. At the blue line, Marshall still holding on to it. Pass comes over to Ty Johnson. Johnson switching spots. Now pass Ballas. Over to Marshall. Rockets working a lot at the top of the zone here. As Riley Wood spins and gets away from danger. Tries to hand it off down low for Ballas. It's Wood handing it. Perry, shot on goal. That one stopped by Hage. Puck bouncing around and cleared by the Kings all the way back to Brazeau.
Nice toe save there by Omar Hage.
And Brazeau's pass is going to find no one and go for icing.
You don't see that very often when the goaltender gets called for icing. But they were making a change. Oh, and actually, speaking of that, a lot of these new guys are going to be sent back off the ice. Face off now to the left of Brazeau.
Was trying to catch the Kings sleeping as they went for the line change, a wholesale change at that. But his pass found nobody. And now it's back in the Strathroy zone with half of this power play already expired. To Ty Johnson. Johnson had that one knocked off his stick, and the Kings forecheck here working well into the corner. McElwain battling against two Rockets, another two waiting just outside of the scrum, and finally the four of them beat the one of the Kings and get the puck out to center. Not before it's dumped back in. A long one on Brazeau, and he's going to have no choice but to cover up here as Carter McElwain was coming in hot. 34 seconds left here on the man advantage.
Yeah, Carter McElwain, the captain, leading goal scorer, leading point getter, killing penalties. This is my first live viewing of Carter. He seems to do it all for the Kings.
Kings win the draw, and they'll take it back all the way into their zone before a long pass down the ice.
That'll be offside.
And the Kings were offside there, as chasing it down was Easton Cowan, and actually beat the puck over the line.
I appreciate his effort. That was a really long pass from one zone end of the ice to the other, but he clearly was across the blue line before the puck was.
So 22 seconds left here on the power play. The Rockets get an offensive zone faceoff. Smith hands it over to Kindry. Kindry shot to the net. Rebound comes out front. Hage makes the save. On the ground, sprawled out, and the puck stays out where it's cleared up to the line. Kindry knocks it down with his glove. Now to the net. That one redirected wide. Nelson picks it up in the corner. Will come up to the blue line for Smith. Over to Kindry. Smith again. Smith looking for options. Penalty is over. Kings back to even strength. Now back down low. Dundas just threw it off the back of the net. Kings looking to try and clear. Hogarth up to the point. Smith goes back down low and over to the opposite corner for Dundas. He throws it out front. Hits off the stick of the Kings. They'll clear it up to the blue line and out to center. As coming up to center now, Cowan. Cowan hands it off. Working in. Johnson. Johnson lost it. Kindry picked his pocket and now will try to clear for Strathroy. Back up to the point. Goff holds onto it here. Now he comes up to the blue line. Shot to the net and seen easily as Brazeau gloves that one down with 1:46 left here in the period.
I believe at the other end of the ice there, you had commented Dylan Dundas threw the puck out front and kind of created a chance. About 5 seconds before that, I think he actually tried to bounce the puck off the back of Hage from the other side of the net, and he ended up hitting the mesh on the back side of the net, but very Crosby-esque maneuver on the part of Dylan Dundas.
The Rockets will clear all the way down into the Kings zone. Now back out front of the bench here, the Kings look to get something going. Poking that one forward. Now Hull with it. Hull goes back and sent down the ice, and that is going to be an icing call. Ostescu, the call-up defenseman in the lineup tonight for Strathroy with the icing. Playing right now on a pairing with Blake Hull.
Yeah, the 17-year-old Strathroy native in the lineup today for the Rockets.
Off the stick of the Kings forward, so that puck will come outside the zone. We mentioned the Rockets dealing with some injuries early on here in the season, and of course the suspension to Jacob Habib gives the youngster a chance here in the lineup on this Sunday afternoon. Now out front of the Rockets bench here, tied up against the wall. Back to the Kings defenseman as it's sent down the ice, no icing, and Blake Hull back to pick it up here inside of the Rockets zone. Hands that one off. Now turned over. McLeod couldn't hold on to it. It's going to be cleared outside. And now Luchenko trying to chase that one down. Up to center. Knocked off the stick there. Faulkner tried to pick it up. Now back into the Strathroy zone. Hull off the boards. Luchenko carries it forward and across the blue line. Drops it for Faulkner. Faulkner fanned on it. Will hand it off back down low out of the reach of Luchenko and around the boards up to Riley Wood. Wood to Johnson to the net. That shot wide. 30 seconds remaining here in the period. Kings working up quickly on the right side. Trying to cut to the middle there was Jackson McElwain. He lost it. Riley Wood, a long pass into the shin pads of Carson Perry as he had to knock that one out of the air. Kings will dump it back in and come in on the chase. 15 seconds to go. Carson Perry up through center. Perry is just going to carry it forward. Dodges a hit. Perry again. Shot to the net. That one stopped by Hage. Up to the point. Wood over to Marshall. 4 seconds. Shot to the net. Redirected by Pimentel. Up to the point. And this one not going to get a shot off here as the horn goes. And period number 1 comes to an end with a 1-1 score. Both teams striking early on in the first. The Kings getting on the board with the first goal of the game, and then the Rockets finding the tying goal. And we'll go to the second period the same way we started this thing, still tied.
I think I think a tie score is indicative of how the period was played. Strathroy did have a couple of power plays where they probably got, I'll say, 3 or 4 of the 10 shots that they had on net in the first period, and looked pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It was an evenly played period, and I think that if they continue to play this way, this is the kind of play that you and I have been talking about for 2 or 3 weeks that we've been looking for out of the Rockets, is a little more consistency. And the one thing that I didn't notice in that first period, noticeable by its absence early in the season, giveaways. They weren't turning the puck over regularly in that period. Good control, nice passes, a good first period overall.
Yeah, the only turnovers I can think of in that first period would have been maybe in the offensive zone, not nearly as dangerous as some of the ones we've seen early on where they're turning it over at their own blue line, resulting in scoring chances. So much better, much cleaner first period here. And at the end of the day, you go to the intermission, tied at 1, you're out shooting the Kings 10-7. That's a good first period here from the Rockets.
That's a great first road period, especially coming off just playing last night at home. Good first period.
So the Rockets goal scorer, Matthew Pimentel, Owen Kindry and Riley Wood picking up the assist there for Strathroy, but it was the goal that tied it as Cardinal McElwain got the Kings started. Owen Lukings got the opening goal here for the Kings, and that is where we are. One other game going on in the Western Conference today, that one in the second intermission in Chatham. A 4-3 lead for the Maroons over the visiting St. Mary's Lincolns. It's tied at 1 here in Komoka. We'll go take a break here. You're listening to Strathroy Rockets Hockey.
The following live broadcast of Strathroy Rockets Hockey is made possible thanks to our generous sponsors. Andy's Legendary Pizza, located at 10 Metcalf Street West in Strathroy. Commonwealth Financial, located at 370 Albert Street in Strathroy and online at commonwealthfinancial.ca. Carpet One Floor and Home, located at 325 Caradoc Street South in Strathroy. All Season Concrete, located just outside Strathroy, and visit them online at allseasonconcrete.ca. MNP Accounting, Consulting and Tax Services, located at 6 Front Street in downtown Strathroy. And by Middlesex Chiropractic. Visit them at 117 Thomas Street in Strathroy. The following is a live presentation of Strathroy Rockets hockey. Aspro's in alone. Daniel Aspro, breakaway, scores! Left to the net here, still has it. Over to the side, center, scores!
All right, we welcome you back here to Komoka, ready for period number 2 at the Wellness Center. It's 1-1 here between the Strathroy Rockets and the Komoka Kings. Told you the shots on goal after the first period, Eldon, but they've altered them somehow in the last 10 minutes or so. Rockets still lead, this time 16-12.
Strathroy, during that intermission, outshot Komoka 6-5. And 16-12 actually, the shots on goal showing up here on the board.
So the Rockets will lead the shot category 16-12, which is what we have learned is the updated shot total as we get set and ready for period number 2 here from the Wellness Center. Both clubs looking to come out here and have another good period. I don't think either side was unhappy with how that first period went. A couple penalties maybe the Kings didn't want to take, but you're going to get those in a hockey game.
Yeah, and as I was just saying to you before we came back on the air, we'll see how this second period goes if and when Strathroy takes a penalty or two. Because Komoka was able to go 2 for 2 on the penalty kill in that first period. Strathroy not taking advantage of those power plays. Although, as I did say, that's where a chunk of their shots did come from. But we'll see.
The Kings can be dangerous on the power play if they get there. Of course, they've got the McElwain brothers, led by Cardinal McElwain, the captain. Loves to put the puck in the back of the net. Face off, and we are underway here for period number 2. Ty Johnson back in the Strathroy zone. A good chance for the Kings right there was knocked away off the stick of Yearwood. Now back down into the corner. It's picked up by Carson Perry, trying to bring it up ice the other way. Now Riley Wood's going to get past in the Rockets, an odd man rush. Wood cuts to the middle there, and a great defensive play to knock it away off the stick there. Crocker knocked it away, and it's back into the Strathroy end of the ice. Matthew Pimentel on to the left side, cuts into the corner. Looking for options. Knocked off his stick. Carried up through center, Yearwood. And Cowan had that one, but they were offside, so the Rockets now with a chance from their own zone to settle things down, work up through the middle of the ice onto the stick of Carson Perry. Perry drops for Wood. Wood has shot that one, whistled well wide of the goal. Picked up by McElwain, and McElwain gets to center and fires a slap shot from long distance, goes off a skate and into the corner. Now back behind the net, it'll go off a stick and into the netting, out of play. 1 minute and 2 seconds into this period.
Once again, the defense pairing of Owen Kindry and Cole Smith. I've liked that in the first period. I thought both of them did a nice job in their own end. And actually, Kindry created a couple of chances, assisting on the only goal.
Face-off off to the left of Brazeau, and now it's won back by the Rockets. Now Johnson tries to get it out. He'll get it up to the blue line, but Tidgewell holds the line, keeps it in for the Kings. Back down low, looking for a pass out front. That one off the skate of Smith. All the way up to the other side. Crocker to the net, redirected, stopped by Brazeau. Another chance in the slot. This one whistled wide, and it bounces back out front, but it was knocked away by Smith. Going into the corner to get it here. Smith is battling with McLeod. Picked up by Hogarth behind the net here, and as he looks for a pass, he's just going to flip it up sky high into the air. Bouncing puck will get into the Komoka zone, and now chasing it down is Kane Johnson. Into the corner. Up to Jackson McElwain. He couldn't get it past. Now back down low. Johnson is the only Rocket below the goal line here. Now McElwain will get the pass as the Kings work out from their own zone. Pass out of the reach of Tidgewell, but now he picks it up. The Kings will get a change here as they dump it in. Smith behind the goal line will go D to Kindry. Kindry up to Spezial, and Spezial back to Kindry. Over to Smith, whose pass will go off of Hogarth and into the corner. Hogarth will chase it down, rimmed around the boards, and a long pass comes up on his stick. Goff will carry it in across the blue line. Cuts to the middle, carries it over to the right side. Still holding onto it here as he goes back behind the net. Now leaving it there. He'll get it back. Will go off the glass and then into the netting, out of play once again inside the Strathroy zone.
The netting here at the Komoka Wellness Center seems to kind of hang out over the glass above the ice, so there's going to be, along the wall, there will be some chances for it to hit the net and stop play.
Playing the body there as the Rockets clear out to center. Carrying it up forward, trying to cut through the middle there, but had it knocked off the stick as Gallant was down in the offensive zone. Out front of the Rockets bench, cleared out to the center ice line before Goff takes a hit and gives it up slightly. The Rockets just inside the zone here, couldn't get a pass onto their stick to work forward, and now the Kings into the offensive zone. Trying to cut back to the middle there. This one knocked away. Bouncing puck just rolls past Brazeau. Still inside the Strathroy zone. Here's the Rockets trying to work it out. They will get it out to the neutral zone. Malik with it now. Goes D to D. Thrown forward there is Uniacke. Dumped that one up into the offensive zone. It's going to be picked up here by the Rockets. They work their way forward. Nelson past the slot. Ballas shot. That one goes off the skate of Ballack and cleared, but not out to the blue line. Back down low into the corner. Gallant to Ballas. Ballas passed out front. That one off his stick. Up to the point. Shot thrown on. And seeing that one through traffic to make the save is Hage.
That was a really thoughtful play by Ryan Marshall. He could have powdered that. And all he did was he put a little wrist shot along the ice to try and create a chance, maybe a rebound. A real heads-up play there by Ryan Marshall.
Just trying to create something as opposed to power it past the massive bodies that was out front of the net. Dumped back in by the Rockets as they come in on the attack. Just about 4 minutes gone here to start the second period. Pass goes past Manny and now dumped back out to the Komoka blue line. Picked up by Darius Manny again. Now the Kings from their own zone. Crocker. Back to Manny. They're just playing a little bit of catch behind the goal line here, trying to find a good pass to work their way out of the zone. Crocker now uses the net as a shield, works it up to Zuckerman. Zuckerman through center across the logo, carries it into the offensive zone. Now into the right corner, back behind the net, still holding on to it here, and a big hit, but a penalty coming. A high stick. And the Kings will get their first power play here, 4 minutes and 35 seconds into the second period.
Ryan Marshall did a really nice job on that, right up to the point where he had to bring his arms up and make contact with the head of the opponent. He could have rubbed him out without doing that. But I did mention, we'll see what happens the first time the Rockets take a penalty, and the first power play of the game for the Kings starts now.
So the Kings onto the power play here. And right away, Smith is going to take it and dump it down for Strathroy right on goal, where it's chased by Matthew Pimentel. Kings looking to set up here behind their own net. Now up to their own blue line. Over to Tidgewell. Tidgewell will get cleared of center and dump this one in. Cowan now will skate across the blue line with it. Looking for an option, leaves it for Tidgewell. Hands this one off, and now Tidgewell will get it back. Looking for a shot. He's center away at the blue line. His pass just over and out of reach. Hands it over. McElwain, shot to the net. That one redirected. Took a funny hop, but it's going to be cleared up and down the ice past Coulter. And all the way back for Omar Hage to play it here. 55 seconds ticks off the penalty. McElwain at center holding on to it here. Almost running into Carson Perry, and now carrying it forward into the offensive zone there. Hogarth will just chip it back down low as the Rockets with a wholesale change here.
Nice play by Hogarth there. Instead of trying to walk through three guys, he just dumped it into the corner, realizes he was killing a penalty.
Cowan carries it forward to the net here, and he scores. Short side, top shelf. Power play goal for Easton Cowan, and it's a 2-1 Kings lead.
Oh my. Wow, what a shot by Easton Cowan coming down the left wing. Moved over. At first I thought he was just going to try and cut toward the front of the net, but he unleashed a wrist shot right up past the ear of Matthew Brazeau up into the roof of the net. And then we have the answer. Power play goal by the Komoka Kings, and they lead 2-1.
Kings taking advantage of the man advantage. And they pick up the power play goal from Cowan, and a beauty it was.
Yeah. Hand pass.
Hand pass right off the draw by the Rockets. Will bring the face-off back to the Strathroy side of the ice. .558 gone here in the second period. Face-off one back by Strathroy. Carrying it up, tumped in off the stick of Ballas as the Rockets will try to chase down in the offensive zone. Carrying it forward here, trying to work that one past Crocker. He was knocked down as it's dumped back in here by Strathroy. Manny will clear it off the glass, get it up and out to center. Two Kings right on it as they're chasing down Kostescu, and he'll clear it out to the center ice logo once again. Now long pass onto the stick of Ballas. Ballas tried to work it forward for Gallant. Gallant couldn't hold on to it and keep it alive inside the zone as the Kings work it out past their own bench and dumped into the Strathroy zone. Hull back with it. Behind Brazeau, up to Ballas, and Ballas will get a return pass here, but Lewis intercepts it. Holding on to it now, he'll get it up, and once again, not past Will Lewis. Now Lewis forward and a big hit there as he tried to work his way past the defender, and quick pass up to Ballas. Ballas hands it back as they come in across the line, but offside as Ballas couldn't hold the foot there. Kostescu fired a shot over top of the goal, but the Rockets offside.
Yeah, Ballas was just a little ahead of the play there. Face-off will be down here near us, just outside the Komoka zone with 12:50 remaining in the second period.
Face-off one back by the Kings. Setting up inside their own zone, gets up to Goff at the blue line. Holds on to it here. Nice pass as the Kings work forward into the offensive zone. Now to the opposite corner. Back behind the net. Still holding on to it. Looking for a centering pass. Nobody there. And it's going to be a foot race forward here. Dundas not going to win that one as Uniacke was back to beat him to the puck. And now Uniacke a long pass, but out of the reach of Caden Johnson for an icing.
Yeah, Uniacke he started ahead of the race there and had a better angle to the puck. And seeing him, another player, I'm seeing Komoka for the first time live this season, and Jack Uniacke looks all of the 6'4" that he is listed at. He is a very large young man.
Off the draw, Rockets with it. Faulkner to the net. That one wide and off the boards is going to be covered up. And some more hits here as the Kings getting into it back behind the net there.
Luchenko, as he skated past Hage, who had covered the puck out beyond the post to the left, kind of dragged his left foot there a little bit. He didn't kick Hage, but he definitely made contact with his catching glove with his skate, and I think that's what got a couple of the Komoka Kings a little excited. And now it is
one of them being escorted to the box, it looks like.
Yeah, roughing. Ballack. Matthew Ballack will be sitting 2 minutes or less for roughing.
So Luchenko actually draws a penalty on the play.
I would not have guessed that was going to happen.
No.
Not for the Kings, anyway. Another chance on the power play here for the Rockets to tie this game.
So the Rockets get another power play chance after the Kings score on one to take the 2-1 lead here in the second period. Wood tries to fire a shot. That one right into the shin pads of Cowan. Hands it off back down low for Pimentel. Pimentel back up to the blue line. Kindry. Now back Pimentel down low. Return pass. Up to the point for Kindry. Kindry quickly back. Pimentel tried to throw it towards the net there. It was stopped, and now he'll pick it up back behind the goal line. Comes up to the point and intercepted by Carson Perry. Perry over to Kindry. Kindry shot to the net. That one whistled wide. Picked up on the boards there by Carson Perry. Smith to Kindry. Now they're trying to set it up again, and a miscommunication will send the puck back into the Strathroy zone. Kindry over to Perry as the Rockets looking to try and set something up here. A minute gone off the power play. It's Kindry carrying it into the offensive zone. Will set up inside the line. Perry back down low. He couldn't get this one through. It's going to be cleared again by the Kings. Rockets can't get anything going here on this man advantage.
No, unfortunately for them on that power along the half wall here, they got outmanned at the point of the puck. And Perry couldn't get the puck deep. But here come the Rockets up the ice.
Carrying it forward, Ballas will drop it for Perry. The return pass is intercepted and cleared by the Kings. So 25 seconds to go here on the man advantage as it's sent down the ice off the stick of Ballas. So no icing, but the Rockets have it inside the Kings zone. Now back down low. Ballas return pass, shot on goal. Chance on the rebound, and Hogarth stopped by Hage.
Yeah, finally got a pass on a one-timer. A little rebound came out. Hogarth, unfortunately for him, he was so close to the net, he didn't have a lot of space to put it other than the logo of Omar Hage. And you're right, with 13 seconds remaining on the power play, the Rockets have not had much going.
Face-off one back by the Kings, and they'll clear up to the blue line and out. Johnson over to Marshall here. The Rockets with a chance to at least get into the zone here before the Kings are back to even strength. They'll fire one in back behind the net. This one poked away up to the blue line. Marshall keeps it in. Now back down low, trying to get away from Coulter. Lewis, pass out. The Kings have killed off the penalty. They're back to even strength as they work their way forward. Into the hand there of Hogarth. McLeod will carry it back down low, tries to throw it towards the net. Stopped by the Rockets, and Marshall up to Hogarth. Hogarth will just spin and fire, send it up the ice, and trying to wait there and hope it came onto his stick was Dundas, but it's dumped back in here by the Kings. Pass off the boards. Dundas will get this one. Dundas a pass just out of the reach of Nelson, but he reaches back, fires it into the Kings zone. Pass off the boards to Lewis. Lewis, pass up ice, out of the reach of everyone, but it will take a hop and wide of the goal for an icing against Komoka. 9:20 to go here in the second period. Kings with a 2-1 lead.
Well, after going 2 for 5 last night on the power play at home against St. Thomas, Rockets off to a rough start with the extra man here this afternoon. They're 0 for 3. Meanwhile, Komoka's 1 for 1, and that goal right now is the difference. It's 2-1 for the Komoka Kings.
Kings win it off the draw. Will take it back behind their net. Cleared off the glass and back out to center. Ostescu now hands it off. Spezial takes a hit into the penalty bench there, and the Kings will once again clear off the glass. This one hits off the official. Now caught up in the skates there as Coulter will just send it back into the Strathroy zone. Back to Blake Hall. His pass onto the stick, carrying it forward in across the offensive line, but Lukings took that away from Faulkner. Now back over top, a nice flip play to keep this one alive. Back down low. Faulkner chases it down. Kings looking to try and clear here. Intercepting this one, now cutting to the net, and a long pass off a stick and down the ice for icing. And this tired Kings unit's going to have to stay out there, and a big offensive zone faceoff coming for Strathroy.
Yes, big faceoff here to the right of Omar Hage. With 8:27 to go in the second period, this is going to be a chance for the Rockets to try and get themselves level with the Kings.
Smith at the point. His shot blocked off the skate there of Lukings. Now up to the point. Kindry to the net. Redirected that one wide. Gallant up to the point. Smith to the net. Redirection by Ballas. Stopped by Hage.
He's really good at that, Brendan Ballas.
Got the redirection on net. Hage made the pad save. Now they're in a puck battle just off to the side. Ballas came out with it. His pass was out of reach there of Gallant. Gallant comes off to the other side. Kindry, Smith. Smith to the net. Stopped by Hage. And the Kings clearing Nelson out of there. 7:51 to go here in the period.
Some nice puck movement by the Rockets around the zone there on that 5-on-5 shift. That's some of the best puck movement we've seen. Now the change, you've got Hogarth coming out with Johnson and Spezial.
Tied up off the wall. Johnson down in front of us in the corner. Balak will pick it up, and he'll come out from behind the Kings net. Just going to carry it past the Rockets bench, but has that one picked away from him, as now it's carried forward. Taking a hit right out front of the Strathroy bench there was Johnson. Now coming up Spezial. Spezial leaves that one for Marshall. Marshall going to get it up to center and dump it in. And Kane Johnson to chase into the corner. Spezial had that one past his stick. Now up to center. Ty Johnson knocks it away, and Spezial, who is just inside the blue line, touches up for an offside charge against Strathroy.
Easy for me to say that you should just let that go and go back into the zone and not have it be offside. But the face-off either way will be just outside the zone in front of the Rockets bench.
Perry to take it here for Strathroy. One back, and Marshall will dump it into the corner. Here is Manny back to get it for the Kings. Pass up to Yearwood. Yearwood had that one lost for a second, but then he recovers, picks it back up, and now the pass into the skates there, and the Rockets turn it back the other way. Wood tried to make a move as he was entering the zone, lost it. Picked up by Cardinal McElwain. McElwain in, toe drag move, and a shot will go off of the shin pad and out of play into the screen.
Yeah, I don't care how much the screen hangs over the ice. That one was going to be out of play. Some great hustle by McElwain. He's really good with the puck.
Uses his speed to his advantage.
He does. And 2 years his junior, Jackson McElwain, also on the team, and the second leading goal scorer.
Perry will pick it up at center here for Strathroy. He'll cut to the middle, hands it off to Smith, who is streaking in. Smith back down low. He's taken into the wall by Connors. Now Riley Wood, pass to the slot. Oh, that one stopped. Back up to the point for Perry. Perry hands it off for Smith. Smith cut to the net, redirected by Pimentel and stopped by Hage.
Nice tip in front of the net. They do that a lot, and I commented on Brandon Ballas before because he seems to do it 2 or 3 times every game. But Pimentel, same idea there. Try and change either the eye level of the puck or the direction. And again, though, so tight to the net that the deflection actually just ended up in the belly of Omar Hage.
6:15 to go here in the period. Off the draw, the Rockets inside the Kings zone. Dundas up to the point, kept alive. Now picking it up, still holding on to it here. Faulkner holds on to it, back behind the net. On his backhand, looking for a pass as he's taken into the boards. Now getting it back, cutting through. Luchenko cuts to the net here, holds on to it to the net, and he couldn't squeak it in.
Oh,
what an effort, though.
great effort.
Just held on to it. He's made his way around the circle, cut to the middle, and then outweighted Hage, but couldn't squeak it into the tight gap that was there.
He would have needed time to go around the pad and then backhand it in, and he was just too far away from the net at that point to be able to do that. But what an effort. Dragging Josh Tidgewell with him for half the zone as he circled the net.
So the Kings now from their own zone, sent down the ice. There to chase it down, no icing as it's going to be played by the Rockets defender up to the blue line just out front of the Kings bench, kept alive, and now the Rockets will clear it back into Kings territory. Tidgewell over to Coulter. Coulter up to the blue line, not going anywhere here for the Kings just yet. Now they will as they pick it up at center, and now Cowan moves forward. Cowan with speed on the left side, couldn't get it towards the net there. Had split the defenders, but couldn't get a pass towards his streaking winger, and now the Rockets get it up to center, carrying it forward. Ballas on the right side. Ballas tries to cut to the middle of there with a pass, but it was intercepted, and now the Kings once again will just clear it up and back down the ice. Ty Johnson to center will just bring it into the offensive zone, tries to cut to the middle there. Cowan looking for a pass, finds McElwain. McElwain on the left side, holds on to it here. McElwain's shot, that one stopped. Might have been off the side of the goal. Now up to the point. Uniacke Just throwing it towards the net as Marshall will play it here. Now the Rockets forward past their own blue line. In across center, cutting to the middle here. Nelson, his pass off the stick of Goff. Rockets looking for a change here as the Kings work it out past and all the way back to their bench. Marshall and Johnson passing it back and forth. Goes into the corner for Kane Johnson. Kane Johnson will go to the opposite side for Spezial. He just throws it towards the net there. Picked up. Ty Johnson now with it. Johnson still holding on to it. Thrown towards the net. Stopped by Hage. Now his brother Kane up to the point. Shot to the net. Pad save by Hage. Hogarth picks it up in the corner. Still looking for a pass. Spezial down there as well. Comes back out and Johnson knocked it away. Up to the blue line, but not out, as the Rockets still inside the Kings zone. Now around the boards, Ty Johnson pinching to keep the puck alive. 3.5 minutes to go here in the second. It's Johnson working it up to the point. Now back down low. Hogarth pokes it away. Hogarth tries to get that one back. Kane Johnson to the net, right through the blue paint. Over the opposite side of the boards. Now the Kings will clear as they get it up to center. Onto the stick there as it's picked up, coming through. Jackson McElwain in across the blue line. Tried to cut to the middle there. Was met by about 3 Rockets defenders and couldn't go anywhere. Now Spezial in past the Strathroy bench. Pass out to the slot. Nobody there to pick it up. Was trying to find Kane Johnson, but he goes into the wall with Darius Manny. Now Perry had that one hop over top of his stick. Manny up to the blue line. Kept alive here by the Rockets inside the zone. Manny flips it up into the air, down the ice, and into the Strathroy zone. Up against the wall there as it was played by Caden Johnson. Up past the Komoka bench. Riley Wood trying to chase that one down. Down to the last 2:20 here of the period as it's picked off by Kindry. Kindry will come into the offensive zone on the right side. Rebound as that one was stopped by Hage. Came right out into the slot. And quickly the Kings work back the other way. Johnson, right side, stopped by Brazeau as he gets some action, making that save. And a penalty on the way here.
Yeah, it actually, the play ended with Brazeau covering the puck, but before the puck ever left the Komoka zone, the penalty took place. Colin Holmes of Komoka took a pretty solid cross-check from Matt Pimentel, and up 26-17 in shots, but down a goal. The Rockets are about to be shorthanded for the second time.
A quick clear off the face-off. They'll have to kill a penalty for just about the rest of the second period. And it will be important to keep this at a 1-goal game. Kings working out from their own zone now. Pass on the stick of Cowan in on the left side. Cowan now back behind the net to pass over to the opposite side. Up to the point for Tidgewell. Tidgewell winds up, hands it off to Cowan. Now Cowan, pass over, shot towards the net. That one off a shin pad and wide. Comes up to the point for Coulter. Coulter hands it off over to Tidgewell. Bounces over his stick, and the Rockets with a chance there to tie it up, but unable to get it out there. Now picking up in the corner. Hull will come back out from behind the Strathroy net. Pick the pocket there, holding on to it. Chance out front, and they couldn't get the shot off there as that one just out of the reach of McElwain. Now down low behind the net here. Kings pressing on the power play. 1 minute gone and just over a minute left here in the period. It's Cowan off on the left side. Setting up at the top of the circle, hands it off down low, looking for options. They come out front, and it will be cleared quickly by Spezial.
And nobody breathing a sigh of relief bigger than Blake Hull after that clear.
And now it's going to be a chance for the Kings here. They catch the Rockets on a change. Chance out front, they score.
Wow.
They worked that up ice quick.
A 3-on-0 on a line change.
They caught the Rockets on a change. The Rockets have the long change here in the second period. And I believe they tried to get a wholesale change on the penalty kill. And it cost them.
And the next thing you know, it's 3 wide for the Kings coming into the zone. Now 2 for 2 on the power play and a 2-goal lead with 42.9 to go in the second period.
So into the final minute of the period here. The Rockets now trailing by 2. Lewis now to try and clear it for the Kings. Kept alive inside the zone. Dundas, his pass just off the body and cleared out by the Kings. Lewis will pick it up at center. Lewis working into the offensive zone. Tries to cut to the net. Brazeau will kick it aside. 17 seconds to go here in the period. From their own zone, Kindry now. Kindry. Chip past them up to center. Chance working in. Drops for Kindry. Kindry to the slot. That one stopped by Hage. Kings will pick it up, and with 3 seconds, Holmes will just get to center, pass it over, but Lewis will run out of time as the horn goes to end the second period. The Kings with a late one on the power play once again, and it is a 3-1 Komoka Kings lead as we head to the third period.
I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that on a power play where you get 3 guys in alone from the blue line. Hopefully I don't see that again anytime soon.
Rockets just caught on the long change there, trying to get too many guys off the ice at once, and it comes back to bite them.
It did. The icing by the Rockets just got turned around so quickly. Good recognition. I believe it was Darius Manny who fired the puck up to Yearwood, and he just, like I said, great recognition. Saw that all 4 guys were headed to the bench, and by the time Yearwood took the pass, the fresh 4 were just coming onto the ice half the rink away.
We mentioned in the first intermission, or going to it, that the Rockets were playing well, but they had to make sure that they kept the Kings power play away. And, we saw the Kings power play. They've scored twice in the second.
Yeah.
Those goals coming from Easton Cowan and Matthew Goff to give them a 3-1 lead. Kings leading 3-1 here. We'll go take a break here. Third period coming up from Komoka as you're listening to Strathroy Rockets Hockey.
The following live broadcast of Strathroy Rockets Hockey is made possible thanks to our generous sponsors. Andy's Legendary Pizza, located at 10 Metcalf Street West in Strathroy. Commonwealth Financial, located at 370 Albert Street in Strathroy and online at commonwealthfinancial.ca. Carpet One Floor and Home, located at 325 Caradoc Street South in Strathroy. All Season Concrete, located just outside Strathroy, and visit them online at allseasonconcrete.ca. MNP Accounting, Consulting and Tax Services, located at 6 Front Street in downtown Strathroy. And by Middlesex Chiropractic. Visit them at 117 Thomas Street in Strathroy. The following is a live presentation of Strathroy Rockets hockey. Aspro's in alone. Daniel Aspro, breakaway, scores! Left to the net here, still has it. Over to the side, center, scores!
All right, we welcome back to Komoka Wellness Center here for period number 3. Rockets trailing the Komoka Kings by a score of 3-1 after the Kings pick up a pair of power play goals in that second period to give themselves the 3-1 lead. Shots on goal favor Strathroy 27-20, but don't let that fool you. The Kings have had their chances tonight, and when they got the power play chances, Eldon, they capitalized.
2 for 2. Doesn't get any better than that. You know, the Easton Cowan shot, I mean, you have to tip your cap. He was kept to the outside, but still just whistled one past the ear of Matthew Brazeau to make it 2-1. And I think we've said all there needs to be said about that third goal. The 3-0 at the end. But the difference in the game is the power play. Komoka's 2 for 2 and Strathroy's 0 for 3.
They've had their chances. They haven't been able to get many great scoring opportunities on the power play. And now they've got 20 minutes to try and figure it out here. They're down by a score of 3-1. Fresh sheet of ice, fresh legs, and ready for the third period.
Yeah, the clock still counting down here with more than a minute to go.
Well, give them props here in Komoka. They have a very quick intermission compared to some other places around the league. You'll get the games, you'll get the chuck-a-puck. In Strathroy, you get the tire roll. And then the Zamboni goes on. You're looking at 12 minutes here in Komoka. It is quick and ready back to hockey.
Keeping some of the fans involved with some of that intermission. Those games that they play in the other rinks, including Strathroy. I once took part, probably almost 20 years ago, in the shooting at the board with the little hole.
Yeah, how'd you fare?
I hit the board. I hit the
It's
board.
tougher than it looks, eh?
Actually, just hitting the net from center ice is not as easy as it looks.
Well, when they just throw you out there, no warm-ups, you're on your shoes, on ice. I don't imagine it's the easiest thing in the world.
I did have the benefit of watching the first 2 shooters go and seeing how they did. So I kind of, aimed for the corner and somehow hit the net.
I think the goal there is nice and easy, right? You can't be trying to overpower it.
Absolutely not. Yeah, you're absolutely
push it
right.
almost down the ice. You got to make sure it gets there, but you got to make sure that it is on target more than anything. We're underway here as the puck is dropped, and the Kings entering inside the Strathroy zone here to start the third period. Coming out from the corner, couldn't get the shot off there. It was knocked away. Rockets can't clear. McElwain dumps it to the opposite side, picked up by Ty Johnson. Johnson off the glass and cleared out to center where it's knocked down by Darius Manny. And the Rockets bring it in, but offside. 23 seconds into the period.
Yeah, Pimentel, who first had the puck, was engaged with the defender coming across the blue line, and when he lost it, it came back out, creating the offside. Face off early, 23 seconds into the period.
Right off the draw, picked up, and Pimentel couldn't go anywhere with it. It'll be carried in by Cowan. Cowan stops up, now throws it to the opposite corner where it's picked up by Yearwood. Yearwood, his pass, knocked away up to the blue line, kept in, shot to the net. Knocked away by Brazeau. Goes over to the opposite corner. Johnson was there to chase it down. Kings keep it alive. Into the corner. The captain, Carter McElwain, comes outside. Nowhere. Up to the point. Now gets it back. Yearwood. Yearwood's shot will go off a stick and into the netting. Out of play. So we'll get a line change here from both clubs with 59 seconds off the clock here to start this third period.
Yeah, 59 seconds in. No shots on goal for either team as of yet. Caden Hogarth to take the face-off for the Rockets.
Goff now. Down low as he just flips it into the corner. Smith goes the opposite side to Kindry. Rockets looking to clear up to the blue line. They will get it out as they're just out front of their own bench. Smith now skating back into the Strathroy zone. Kings all over him here as it's dumped down off the stick and inside the offensive zone here. Chased down by Hogarth. Hogarth plays the body. Forces the turnover now as the Rockets trying to get something going back behind the net. Now picking this one up, getting out Tidgewell. He'll get it out to center. Knocked forward as it's chased down by Caden Johnson. Johnson couldn't get that one past the defenseman. Now it's back out to center. Picked up by Hogarth. Hogarth coming in. Arm up here. Penalty on the way to the Kings. It will be touched up. And the Rockets will get an early power play chance here in the third to get back into this game. A roughing call on the way.
It's going to be Nicholas Yearwood, I think. I think it was number 12. No, my apologies. It was number 13, Josh Tidgewell. And it happened right in front of the Rockets bench, right in front of the referee. Came in for a hit, needlessly high. 2 minutes for roughing, and this is going to be a big power play for the Rockets. Down 2. Face off to the left of Omar Hage.
They're 0 for 3 on the power play tonight.
Yeah, I can't understate how important this power play is for them in this third period.
Oh, and it's almost turned over right away there as Lewis right on Kindry, but Kindry quickly will bring it back in and set up here in the offensive zone. Looking for the options here. Wood had it knocked away from him. Perry couldn't get that one up to the point. Now he does for Kindry. Kindry will come to the other side, just out of the reach of Smith. Smith has a man right on him. Kings with an aggressive penalty kill here, right on the Rockets, giving them no time for a pass. Wood trying to walk out with it. That pass was blocked, knocked down by Perry now as he picks it up, goes up to Kindry. Kindry now, still holding on to it. Hands it off to Smith. Smith return pass. This one to Ballas. Ballas back down low. It's Wood behind the net. Doesn't have any help there. Now he does as Ballas comes in. Perry's there as well. Perry's going to come out of the scrum with the puck here for Strathroy. Up to Ballas. Ballas over to Kindry. Kindry to Smith. Back to Kindry. Shot to the net. That one redirected over top of the goal. Hits off the glass and is sitting on the back of the net. Finally played and able to be kept alive here by the Rockets. Ballas up to Smith. Smith looking for a shot towards the net. That one hit off a skate, went into the corner. Gets it back. Now hands it off the wall to Riley Wood. Wood had 2 power play goals last night at home. Holds on to it. He's going to switch spots with Carson Perry. Perry, top of the circle, still holding on to this one to Kindry. Kindry walks into the slot. Kindry to the net. This one stopped by Hage. Rockets with another good chance there, but they couldn't get anything going, and now it's up to the point for Smith. Smith shot to the net. Hage makes the save, goes into the corner. 13 seconds to go here on the man advantage. Up to the point. Smith, opposite side to pass in the air to Kindry. Keeps it alive, and then it's going to be cleared by the Kings, and that'll do it for the man advantage.
They spent probably a minute 40 in the Komoka zone, had one good scoring chance.
Cleared out to center, and now Kings from their own zone. A quick pass out to the logo at center ice. They'll carry it into the offensive zone. Hull with a big hit as that one's whistled over top of the goal. Coulter now, as it's thrown towards the net there by Holmes, whistled wide to the blocker's side of Brazeau. Now Cowan, he tried to find a centering pass, had that one knocked off his stick. Hull intercepts it again. Hull's going to throw it off the boards as now the Rockets try to clear, and Dundas is already breaking out of the zone and didn't have the puck on his stick yet. So now the Rockets and Faulkner work through center. Faulkner in, but the Rockets are offside. One too many moves at the line.
Yeah, the extra move to his left put Dylan Dundas offside on the right wing. And Dundas kind of showing his frustration. Palms up, looking over, but now 0 for 4 on the power play. The Rockets still trail by 2 with 15:30 to go in the third period.
Some work to do through the final 3 quarters of this third period. D as Hull hands it back. Kostetsku, and now a hit there on Nelson and right in front of the official, but no call here. Rockets bench wanted one. Now Ballas will go into the corner. Back behind the net here. Kings keep it alive. McElwain, he takes a hit, throws it out front, and it's going to be covered up by Brazeau.
Well, the puck was kind of playing the role of a tennis ball there for a couple of seconds between the hash marks, and Brazeau got tired of it bouncing around close to his net, so he freezes it for the face-off.
Face-off will be inside the Strathroy zone. Off to the left of Brazeau. 5:01 gone here to start the third. One back by the Rockets. Johnson will play it around the boards and down the ice. No icing as Spezia will chase it down into the corner. Plays the body here as the Kings look to clear. Losing the 6 slightly, getting it back is Johnson. Now the Kings from their own zone, getting out to the blue line, dodging the hit of Hogarth. Goff gets it up. Hogarth has that one go between his legs, back down as Uniacke will pick it up. Goes D-to-D. Ballack, and now the Kings up past their own bench, getting to center and throwing that one right onto the stick of Marshall. Marshall's pass right onto the stick of Holmes. Couldn't get it anywhere. Oh, big hit there as he just missed his man, flying into the glass, and Spezia will get it at center on the pass, carry it over to the blue line, but pass was intercepted. Flipping up sky high in the air as the Kings will get a line change. Bouncing puck comes right back down onto the Strathroy net, and Brazeau. Kindry now with a man right on him. Now over to Marshall. Marshall pass into the middle for Hogarth. Hogarth into the skates of Wood. Rockets struggling to find a clean pass, tape to tape, to work out of the defensive zone. And now they'll get a line change here. Yeah, Wood and Kindry, the only two left out there.
This is the most disjointed I think they've looked all game.
Back in their own zone, it's Smith. Cross ice to Kindry, and Kindry looking for an option as he comes through the middle there. Is the lone Rocket back, trying to get past two Kings. Now a long pass onto the stick of Riley Wood as Wood's dumped right out front of the Kings bench. Perry tried to pick it up here, but a nice move is thrown back into the corner by McElwain. Pimentel up to Wood. Wood trying to chip that one past, had Perry with him. It's going to be flipped right back into the Strathroy zone. Smith to Kindry. Kindry's pass through the legs of Perry and right back into the Komoka zone. Kings just clearing this one up to center. Now carrying it into the offensive zone. Knocked off to the stick of Yearwood. Yearwood tried to bring it in himself. Had a man with him as well. Now back down low where it's going to be picked up by Coulter. From the Kings bench. Unable to clear at the blue line there. Kept alive. Out to center for Hull. Hull forward. Perry picks it up. Perry still holding on to it here. Tried to pass it over to Dundas, but a little bit of miscommunication there. Hull just flipped it up forward, and it's going to be picked up. Coulter dumps it into the opposite corner. Kings will come in on the forecheck. 12-10 to go here in the third. Still a 3-1 lead for Komoka. As it's flipped up in the air, just out of the reach there as he couldn't pick it up. Carrying it on the left side. Now back behind the net, McElwain. McElwain tries to throw it back out front. Rockets will come with it. Luchenko forward. He's in across the blue line. Luchenko, drop pass, no one there. And it will result in a turnover here in favor of the Kings. And now forward, Cowan. Cowan into the offensive zone, and he tried to make a toe drag move, but was stopped up by the defender in Johnson.
Yeah, Ty Johnson did a great job. You can let the puck go by, you can let the man go by, but you can't let them both go by, and he took the man. Puck just kind of slid harmlessly into Matthew Brazeau. 11:39 to go in the third period. Time ticking away on the Rockets here, down by 2.
Rockets trying to clear. They'll get it out to center. Bouncing pucks played by the Kings. Knocked away there by Johnson. Now it'll be picked up by Ballas. Ballas in across the blue line. Ballas a shot. That one blocked, goes into the corner. Hit into the wall there. Gallant back down low. Ballas to Gallant. Gallant a shot on, and Page sees that one easily. We'll pick it up off the ground with the glove, and we'll get a whistle. 11:13 to play here in the third.
Good turnout here at the Komoka Wellness Center this afternoon. A little late arriving. Mid-first period. We still looked a little light, but it's come to look and fill up nicely.
A Sunday matinee here at the Wellness Center. Second straight week that the Rockets have been in town on a Sunday. Second of 2 Kings home games on the weekend. Kings from their own zone now to clear, trying to get it up past their bench. They will. They'll get it out to the Rockets' blue line where it's picked up by Johnson. A couple moves to work it forward here now into the offensive zone. Gallant left side thrown towards the net there and stopped, and this will draw a crowd as Johnson went into the goaltender. And bodies flying on top of one another here and punches being thrown.
That's what they call the accidentally on purpose contact with the goaltender. He didn't do a very good job of selling that it was an accident, in my opinion. And I'm sure that if penalties are awarded, Ty Johnson will be heading to the box.
Went to the net, and I think if he tried his hardest, could have stopped. But
I agree there. I think
made his way into the goaltender. It looks like him and Darius Manny will be heading to the box, and I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, Manny was the first defenseman. Oh, we got another one here. Noah Nelson headed to the penalty box. And I think
Rockets might be down after all this.
Out of all of that, I think that the appropriate thing, unfortunately for the Rockets, is for them to be a man down. That was, I think Nelson's gone in there with Manny as the recipients of probably some roughing calls after the play was over. But Ty Johnson, a goaltender interference call, I think would be the appropriate call there, and it is number 12 up on the board for 2 minutes. Not what the Rockets needed with a little over half the period to go. They're down by 2 already, and now the Kings power play, which is 2 for 2 this afternoon, has a chance to work for the third time and salt this one away.
Yeah, a power play goal here for the Kings could really make it tough for the Rockets. And the way the Rockets offense has been this season, it might be out of reach with the fourth one here for the Kings. Puck is down and
they dropped
underway. They dropped it before the Kings got down there. It's caught almost everyone off guard, but the Kings were taking their sweet time getting to the face-off circle, and the linesman was having none of it.
Not the first time I've seen that this season where a player is not ready, but the puck hits the ice anyway.
Rockets were almost as shocked as everyone else as they didn't know if they could ice it. Are we allowed to touch this puck? And just like that, the Kings now getting set up in the offensive zone with 30 seconds ticked off the clock. Perry intercepts the pass, chips it up to the blue line, but not out. Kept alive here for the Kings as Cowan goes to get it in the corner. Now Perry again, another chance, and the Kings running into one another there as Perry sends it down the ice.
Everybody's okay. That's why I laughed. Easton Cowan and Nicholas Yearwood kind of falling over each other.
Rockets another chance to clear, and they will as Kindry sends it down the length of the ice. Already halfway through this man advantage for Komoka as Cowan picks it up behind the Kings net. Up across the blue line now on the stick of Yearwood. He's looking for options. Hands it up to the point. Coulter. Now opposite side, down low. Again, chance out front as that one was one time to pass from Cowan. Cleared up to the blue line, but not out as Coulter keeps it alive on the opposite side. Holding onto it here, Tidgewell. Tidgewell into the corner for Cowan. Cowan to the net. Walking back behind, pass out front. That one off a stick and into the corner. Now Marshall on the backhand will send it down the ice. 15 seconds to go here as it's played by the Kings netminder right up to the defense, and they look to work up ice here with the remaining 10 seconds on this power play. Johnson works his way in, trying to set up here. Has Cowan down low. Johnson holds onto it, hands it off to the opposite side. Back up to the point for Uniacke as we're back to even strength. The shot thrown on, seen by Brazeau and stopped right in the logo. And the Rockets now have killed off the penalty. They're back to even strength and have 8 minutes and 46 seconds to try and find a couple goals here.
Big time kill for the Rockets there. Nice job, I thought, by Hogarth and Marshall. Were both noticeable to me on that penalty kill. And now they are one shot away from being one shot away. Down 3-1 with 8:46 to go.
Right off the draw one by the Kings goes into the corner. Back behind the net. Goff picking this one up, cycling it back down low. On his forehand here, McElwain shot towards the net there by Goff over top of the net and off the glass into the corner. Faulkner with it. Trying to get it up past the blue line, and it'll go off the stick of Dundas and into the Rockets bench out of play.
All McElwain all the time between Jackson and Carter. And speaking to the Komoka play-by-play guy before the game, Dylan Baker, sharing that Carter and Jackson had been playing on the same line for the first few games, but in order to try and kind of spread the scoring around, they've split the two of them up. And as I said earlier, they are the two leading goal scorers for the Komoka Kings. Not sure what's... Oh, it's almost like at home. The
net off,
the
down,
net down to the left.
Back underway here is everything sorted out. The Rockets clear it down into the Komoka zone. Dundas giving chase. He's the first one to get it. Now he comes back out front with it. Almost had a good chance there as it's picked up, and now that pass will go off a stick, kept in at the point. Costescu down low. Kings will pick it up, and they'll work their way through center into the offensive zone. That pass will go off a stick. Faulkner trying to chip that one up to Dundas. Dundas picks it up, shot to the net, blockered away. Luchenko there. Trying to work that one past Lukings. Faulkner will pick it up, but he'll bring it in offside as he did not realize that Dundas was still inside the Kings zone.
Sometimes forget that up here everything is so much easier to see. I thought, how does he not know that he's in there?
Different vantage point for sure.
I might have been a better hockey player if I could have seen the ice the way I see it from up here.
Bird's eye view, sent down the ice. No icing here, and the Kings back to get it behind their own net. To the opposite corner, Ballas there. He takes a hit on the body, and now once again hit into the wall here as the Kings look to clear. Flipped up into the air, but kept in at the line. Johnson with it. Johnson walks in, shot to the net. Stopped, rebound comes out front, and the Rockets banging away at it. Couldn't get anything more on goal, and Omar Hage makes another big save. Into the corner again, Johnson. He takes a hit, bounces off him, still holding on to it here. Cuts to the middle there, looking, bounces towards the net, and poked away by Hage. Kings will clear out to the blue line, and that's as far as it'll get before Ryan Marshall dumps it back in for Strathroy. 6:45 to go as it's sent down the ice, and no icing there as the Rockets were in the midst of a change, and it went right through the skates of Owen Kindry. Marshall to Kindry, and now Kindry will give it back to Marshall here as the Rockets look to get set up from their own zone, work out ice. The gallant pass out of the reach of Nelson as it was poked away from Cowan, and now the Kings work into the offensive zone. Cowan to the net, shot whistled wide. There to go pick it up is Nelson as he loses an edge. Takes out McElwain in the process here, and now he'll pick it up again at the blue line. To the offensive zone. To Wood. Wood shot. Goes off a stick and off the glass. Rockets trying to find some urgency here. Under 6 minutes to go in the third now. Still trailing by 2. Battle right up front of the Kings bench. Riley Wood in the battle there as it comes out to the blue line, but not out as now Yearwood throws a hit up high there. Cleared out to the line. Still not out. And finally the Kings able to get that one past the blue line and out. Perry back down low for Kindry, and Kindry to Smith, up to Wood. Crisp pass as the Rockets work forward, but the shot will go off a stick and over top of the net. Now back behind the net. Still holding on to it. Pimentel. Back behind the net, tied up there. Riley Wood. Kings get it, they'll clear and get it out to center where it's picked up by Smith. Fanning on the pass there. Now Smith has Kings forecheckers on him. Carson Perry. Pass forward. Riley Wood just out of his reach. Picked up by Pimentel. Pimentel looking to hand it off to Wood. Wood takes a hit there, and the Kings will pick it up and come back the other way. Long pass onto the stick and off the stick of McLeod. Turned over for the Rockets coming through, and now a penalty coming as Carson Perry tripped up at the line. And that will get the Rockets back to the power play here with another chance.
Yeah, the whistle goes because Riley Wood was offside on the rush, but a I mean, I don't know how intentional it was, but a very obvious tripping call just outside the blue line leads to a penalty for Will Lewis and an absolute must-have power play for the Rockets with 4:42 remaining in the third and trailing by 2.
As close to a must-score power play as you can get here for Strathroy. 4:30 to go in the third, trailing by a couple. Comes up to the point for Johnson. He walks the line. Shot is going to be blocked and cleared by the Kings. Brazeau played it, and Johnson was back to pick it up as he cuts right in front of the net there. Almost had it knocked off his stick. Hogarth rims it around the boards, gets up to the blue line. Marshall to play it. Cleared up and now out forward as Cowan will pick it up and come forward short-handed. Tries to cut to the net, and he just throws it over top of the goal.
But he still was able to get by the defenseman and get that shot off.
Now pass onto the stick of Nelson, who comes into the offensive zone. Nelson wide on the left side, back behind the net. Now hands a pass off. Dundas looking for options. Pass up to Kindry. He's intercepted by Cowan. No, shot to the net. That one stopped. Rebound over top of the goal and into the netting, out of play. And I don't think that hit anything. The faceoff will come outside.
Yeah, that shot by Nelson cleared everything up into the netting. And a great job by Kindry. The pass back to him almost didn't make it, and he was able to just chop the puck back to his teammate to keep the puck in, which ultimately led to that chance on goal.
45 seconds left here in the man advantage for Strathroy. Dallas spinning to get away from danger. Pass back to no one as it goes in front of the Rockets bench. Now Smith, 3:15 to go here in the period. And the Rockets trailing by 2, looking for a couple goals to try and tie this hockey game. 25 seconds left here on this man advantage. Getting set for one final trip up ice as it's passed onto the stick of Carson Perry. Perry leaves that one for Ballas. Ballas back to Perry. Perry up to the point for Kindry. Now hands it back to the captain. The shot off a stick and into the netting, out of play. 6 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah, there's going to be there will be exactly 2 minutes and 42 seconds left following the resumption of 5-on-5 play, presuming the Rockets don't score here in the next 6 seconds.
Right off the draw, a chance, and onto the stick there of Wood, but he couldn't finish.
And they almost made me look like a prophet here.
Now Ballas, a chance on the shot in the slot, and that one was tipped wide. The Rockets a couple of good chances with time expiring on that power play. Still inside the Kings zone as it's shot towards the net. Just trying to look for a tip, and it was tipped wide by Wood. Now bouncing puck will come forward. Here's the Kings work into the offensive zone. Cardinal McElwain a shot. That one well wide of the goal. Picked up by the Rockets out front of their bench, and they work forward. Perry leaves it. Chance to the goal, and they score! Brendan Ballas, and it's back within one.
What a great little pass through either the stick and the skate or the skates of the defender right to Ballas, who just dusted it off and threw it up top. Took his time like he knew what he was doing the whole time. 2:13 remains here, and it is now a 1-goal game.
So the Rockets make it a 1-goal game, and now this will be an interesting 2-11. Kings will send it down the ice, tipped at center, so no icing as they get it into the Strathroy zone. Now pass intercepted as Cowan will dump it into the opposite corner. Battling now against McElwain. McElwain stripped to the puck here. It's picked up by Hogarth, and Hogarth will move forward for Strathroy. Pass just out of the reach there and intercepted as the Kings come the other way to center and dumping it in. Brazeau watches the bench here as the Rockets make a pass, and that pass is going to be dumped right back into the corner here. You want the extra attacker, you got to get out of your own zone first. Minute 25 to go here in the game. Kindry back behind the Rockets net, hands it off to Smith, and Smith will work it up ice. He comes through center here for the Rockets, dumped in. Brazeau is out of his crease but has to retreat here as the Kings have possession in their own zone, now sent up ice. Carrying it forward, now the Rockets have to clear. Brazeau is to the bench here as this one's sent down the ice and an icing against the Kings.
And the Rockets catch a real break there because the closest player to that puck was going to be Easton Cowan. The GOJHL rule for icing as soon as it crosses the red line. And now with 1:01 to go in the third period. Oh, somebody's calling a timeout here.
Timeout called. And it's going to be to Komoka. So interesting, the Kings using their timeout here.
With the icing. Tired guys presumably on the ice.
They'll use the timeout to give their guys an extra 30 seconds of rest.
Catch 22 in a situation like that, though, because now you do give the Rockets the opportunity to draw up a play without burning their own timeout to do it. But as I said, with 1:01 to go, it's going to be a face-off to the left of the Komoka goaltender, Omar Hage. And the goaltender is out for Strathroy. Brazeau on the bench, so it'll be 6 skaters against 5 as the Rockets do their best to tie this game here in the final minute.
1:01 left here in the third. Kings lead 3-2. Rockets have made it a 1-goal game. And now we'll get ready to try and find an equalizer.
Yeah, I got to hurry and get up here before they drop the puck without them.
The official still having a conversation with the Kings player. Rockets win the draw. Back to the point. Tries to throw it towards the net here. Bouncing around as the Rockets have the net empty, extra attacker on. Holding on to it, Wood. Comes up to the point. Now the opposite side, Kindry. Kindry to the net. That one kicked aside by Hage. Got the pad on that one and sent it into the corner. Out the opposite way. Smith is really pinched in here for the Rockets on defense. Now it's back to Perry. Perry back behind the net looking for a centering pass. Had that one knocked away from him. Now Perry comes out front again. This one in the air, knocked down by the glove of Kindry. Holding on to it now. Point shot thrown towards the net. That one redirected. McElwain dives to get it out, but it's kept in by Kindry. Pass comes over. Chance to the net there. Couldn't get it through as it's kept in. Wood. Chance. Looking other side. Scores! Ballas again! And it is tied at 3 with 5.4 to go.
5.4 to go, and Brandon Ballas, second goal in about a minute and a half. His third and fourth of the season. And with 5.4 to go, knock on wood, we will have overtime.
What a shot by Ballas to tie this game at 3.
They survived the broken stick of Cole Smith, who had to leave the zone.
Face off, one back by the Rockets. Marshall will hold on to it, and the horn will go. We will have overtime here in Komoka.
After the last power play, they had given no indication at all that they were capable of coming back from 2 down with 2:40 to go. And Brandon Ballas, the hero here, at least to get them that extra, they'll now get at least a point today, making this the 4th consecutive game that they will get at least 1 point.
So Ballas with 5.4 left on the clock.
Unbelievable.
The hero, as he grabbed a pair of goals in the late going of this game to send it to overtime. And the Rockets will at least pick up a point here on this Sunday.
Well, when last I saw the Rockets on Thursday evening at the Brock Street Barn in Sarnia, they made it to overtime. Well, actually, I won't say they made it to overtime. Unfortunately for them, Sarnia forced overtime late. That one didn't end so well. Owen McDonald scoring the winning goal for Sarnia just 16 seconds into the extra frame. So we'll have 3-on-3 here for 7 minutes As the goaltenders change.
Goaltenders will swap ends, and
just like in the NHL, they make the overtime the long change to mirror the second period. Technically, this is the fourth period. So
Rockets will have Kindry, Perry, and Ballas out there to start the overtime period. And picking it up right away, Kindry will bring it into the offensive zone. Kindry's shot, that one goes off a stick and wide of the goal. Now the Kings have it as Cowan picks it up on the wall. Cowan now from his own zone up at the blue line. Carries it forward. Leaves it there. It'll come all the way back out to center. These two teams went to overtime just a week ago. That game ended up going to a shootout. Back in overtime here again for the second straight Sunday. Kindry back behind the Strathroy net now. Getting ready to come up ice as he's got Ballas on his left, Perry on his right. He hands it off to Perry. Perry will cut to the middle. Didn't like what he saw. Ballas was looking for a change, so that's what they're going to do and get Hogarth onto the ice here. Great patience and ready to set it up here by the captain as he works it into the offensive zone. Now he hands it off to Smith. Smith back to Perry, and Perry at the blue line to the net, and that one seen by Hage as he makes the save with the glove.
Yeah, that was about 2 feet off the ice. Caden Hogarth did his best to wave at it on its way through to try and deflect it. No such luck. Saved by Hage. The shots are 39 for the Rockets, 24 for Komoka. And now a face-off to the left of Omar Hage with 5:56 to go in the overtime.
Smith got it off the draw, and the Rockets now inside of the Komoka zone. Leaves that one for Pimentel. Pimentel now with Carter McElwain right on him. Pimentel will carry it on. He spins to get away from McElwain. Hands it off down low, just out of the reach of Smith. Having to chase that one down, Yearwood, and now the Kings will come back up ice with speed. It's Yearwood through center. Off to the left for McElwain. Didn't like what he saw, holds onto it up to the blue line. Crocker now. Trying to hand it off as Pimentel pokes it forward, and now the Rockets will come back. They got a little bit of rush here working in. Smith, but the pass puts them offside.
Hogarth doing his best to drag the right foot.
And that'll get a change for both clubs. With a minute and 49 seconds off the clock here in overtime. 7-minute overtimes this season in the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League. If not solved, we will see shootout. Rockets back in their own zone, looking for the pass option. We'll hand this one off and working forward with speed here. Luchenko. Luchenko cuts to the middle. Luchenko shot to the net. That one stopped by Hage. Rebound back behind. It's Luchenko again. Luchenko holds on to it to the net. Good chance knocked away. Marshall. Luchenko one-time chance to fanned on the shot. Still holds on to it here. Looking for a pass to Marshall. Marshall will spin and goal. That one stopped by the pad of Hage. Luchenko again looking for options to the net. Sees that one through. And it'll be picked up here by Tidgewell as he works his way through center. Handing it off now, working in here is the Kings right out front of their own bench. Now coming up on the left side. Looking through, pass to the net, stopped by Hage. Marshall with a good chance there.
Caden Faulkner finds the defenseman Marshall streaking toward the net, and he gets a good shot away. But Hage with the big stop smothers the puck. The last 5 shots on goal going the way of the Rockets.
Off the draw, poked past Ballas, and now it's a foot race for it as Goff is taken out trying to get that one. Tries to kick it away, and he does. Gets it back out to center. Now Cowan thought about entering his zone. Will circle back and look for a better option. Still has it on his stick. Cowan pass. Hands that one off to Goff, and Goff back to Lewis here as the Kings now will enter the zone, coming into the offensive zone. Put towards the net there. Brazeau thought about covering. He's going to elect to just play this one, keep it alive. Carson Perry back out onto the ice here for Strathroy. He picks it up at the Kings blue line. Working forward, hands it off to the point for Kindry. Kindry now into the corner. Gets away. Tries to poke this one up to Perry. Perry knocks it back into the corner. Gives chase. He's got Ballas on the ice with him right now. Now Perry. Back behind the net. Still holds on to it. Up to the point for Smith. Smith leaves it for Ballas. Ballas over to Perry just out front of the Rockets bench. Now back down low for Ballas. He's already got 2 tonight. Got us tied at 3 to get us to overtime. Hands it off. Smith is Ballas off the ice to get a line change. Smith will work down into the corner. Now hands it off back behind the net. Up to the point. Nelson. Now Nelson to the net. Stopped by Hage easily. Got the pad down. 2:34 to go here in overtime. As the Kings from their own zone. Cowan with speed. Blazes his way forward. Now to the net. That backhand whistled over top of the goal. Nelson in the corner just looking to try and get control of the puck here for Strathroy. Coulter's going to pick it up, come all the way back out to center. The pass over to Yearwood. And now Yearwood at the blue line makes a move to get past Nelson, carries it in on the right side. Pass up to the point there. This one's going to be knocked away. And picking it up, coming forward. Little bit of a break. He's in a lone chance, and he whistles it over top of the goal. Good chance there for Nelson as he was alone. And now a change is going to result in a breakaway back the other way. Coming in forward, a chance whistles off the post. Oh, back and forth they go here as now the Rockets with a chance coming forward. Ballas on the right side. Had 2 Kings on him here. Now he's battling to try and get it to the net. It's Perry back behind the net. Trying to settle it down. 1:24 to go in the overtime period. Perry into the corner for Marshall. Now to Ballas. Ballas leaves it for Perry at the top of the circle. Will take it out to the top. Carries it in and just outside of the blue line and offside against Strathroy.
And they almost got burned again with a bad line change. You got 2 guys down in the zone, and the only guy back went to the bench. Caden Faulkner at one end, shooting the puck over the net on the breakaway, and a goal post at the other end by Caden Johnston.
You wanted the excitement, you got it here. A minute left in the overtime period. Carrying it in, Spezial. Spezial now. Back behind the Komoka net, still holding on to it. We'll leave that one for Marshall. Marshall now into the corner, will go up to the point. Pass over, Spezial. Cowan right on him. Still holding on to it. Trying to maintain control of the puck. Still got it in the corner. Cowan takes it from him, comes out from behind the net. And now with speed, Cowan comes up ice here for the Kings. Hands it off, McElwain. McElwain cuts down, and a penalty on the way here to the Rockets with 27.5 to go. It's a cross-check.
Caden Hogarth doing his best to try and catch the Komoka forward on the 2-on-1, and he took down Easton Cowan on his way to the net.
And if there's a saving grace to the penalty, it's that it happened with 27.5 to go in the overtime period.
Yeah, we'll have.
So the Kings are going to have to be quick here on the man advantage.
4-on-3 here now. You don't go to 3-on-2 for the power play. It'll be 4-on-3 for Komoka. And Carter McElwain will be out there with Easton Cowan. And
and the Kings,
hold on. Late change.
Trying to figure it out here as Yearwood was coming onto the ice, and that'll get McElwain thrown out of the draw. Face off, one back, and now the Rockets looking to try and clear here. 20 seconds to go. Cowan, chance, that one off a shin pad and out of play with 16.5 left on the clock.
If they can win a draw here and get the puck iced, that would just about eat up the rest of this time. Carson Perry will face Carter McElwain on this face-off.
Big draw. It's one back by McElwain to the point for Cowan. Cowan skating around, just 10 seconds to go. Hands it off into the corner, out of the reach. Kings running out of time here. 3 seconds. That one wide. And it goes back out front. Good chance, but the horn will go.
Easton Cowan ate up way too much time there.
And I don't know if he realized how fast that time was ticking off the clock. They only had 26 when the penalty started. And they were just trying to set something up instead of just trying to get pucks to the net.
Nobody yelled at him until there was about 4 seconds left, and by then he had already fired the puck toward the corner.
So nothing in overtime, and for the second straight Sunday here in Komoka, the Rockets and Kings will head to a shootout.
Yeah, caught a break, as you said, if you're going to take a penalty. 27 seconds left. I'm not sure that's a great time to take one, but at least they didn't have to face the whole 2 minutes.
So we'll see a shootout here, and
who's going to shoot first?
You wonder who's going to go for the Rockets. Matthew Pimentel has shot twice so far this season, and he's buried on both of them. Yeah, Imagine you'll see him,
the shootout,
and he's going to be the first one up, just like we saw last week.
The shootout winner in LaSalle.
And he had the first one for the Rockets a week ago. As he gets out in the puck at center, and he's ready to go.
Here we go.
First shooter. Pimentel for the Rockets here in shootout. He's in, looking, shot, and he's stopped by Hage. He's been a shooter. Found the back of the net twice so far this season in the shootout, but he stopped on that one by Hage.
I think he tried to go glove side with that, but he hit Hage right in the chest, or up toward the left shoulder with that shot.
Quickly now, Caden Johnson for the Kings. He's in. Chance, and he scores. Beats Brazeau on the glove side. And the Kings take the advantage in the shootout right now.
Caden Faulkner up next.
Faulkner here for the Rockets. Here's Faulkner in on his forehand to the net and stopped by Hage. So Hage stands tall here for the Kings. And it'll be the captain, Carter McElwain. A chance to end it for Komoka. McElwain at the blue line. Comes into the offensive zone. Scores! And the Kings down the Rockets in a shootout for the second straight week. Carter McElwain, the shootout winner. Both him and Caden Johnson find the back of the net. Omar Hage makes 2 saves in the shootout, and the Rockets fall here to the Kings 4-3 in a shootout once again.
Brandon Ballas, huge final 2 minutes for the Rockets, scoring twice to send this game into extra time, getting the Rockets a point, which will move them up to 7 points. One ahead of Sarnia. The 2 points Komoka earned today would put them into a tie with Chatham, depending on what happens. Or what happened, I'm sorry. I
believe Chatham was the winners there.
There you go. So Chatham did move up 2 more points. But that said, Strathroy does get a point. Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, they come away with 4 of a possible 6 points over the last 3 games, which I thought, as we discussed earlier, that we felt was probably the bare minimum that they were going to need to get out of these 3 games, and they got them.
They got the 4 out of 6 that they were looking for when we came into the weekend on Thursday. Of course, you look back at it, and hindsight's always 20/20. You look at the game you blew on Thursday night. Here, a little bit of a different story. You came back from behind. You're happy to get a point here in Komoka on Sunday. Yep. But overall, a fairly good weekend for the Rockets to get themselves back into a good position here moving forward, and another big weekend coming up.
Well, what this does is it clears them 3 points of St. Thomas in a conference where 8 of the 9 teams make the playoffs. Obviously, you just don't want to be that team. So it does put them up. And this one does feel a bit more like a win, where Thursday night in Sarnia really felt like a loss. You know, they blew that lead in the 3rd period and then ended up giving up the early goal in overtime. Nobody felt good leaving that one. Where today, those 2 late goals gets them a point. It's a lot better trip home today than it was on Thursday night.
So the Rockets downed in a shootout by the Kings, 4-3 the final score here. They'll be back in action Saturday at home at their next contest. We'll be there for you to call the action. Thank you for listening with us here on this Sunday, and have a safe